Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.
I'm really going to be on here like 30 minutes. We're not doing a long one.
All right, guys, the Blitz is back. I'm Charlie Winkle here with Anthony Roberts and Josh Onan. Welcome to the Blitz the Bookie podcast. It is Wednesday, May the 6th. And boys, we only have 361 days until the Kentucky Derby.
Let's go.
Derby week came and went. It always goes by quick, but it was a blast as always. And it's late on a Wednesday night, so this is just going to be the Blitz the Bookie Derby look back. First of all, guys, how was y'all's Derby day? Anthony goes silent. You notice that, Josh?
Yes.
It's if something's going on, especially when he's got money maybe on the line.
Yeah, I do.
The motherfucker goes silent. No,
I'm locked in.
I was
Gotta be
very
locked
true.
in.
Maybe he got kidnapped this time. I didn't know what on Derby day.
That is very true, Charlie. But I had a weird Derby this year. Derby week takes so much out of me, dude. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking, yes, money too. But, I try to go out to the track at least once every day. I don't think I went out Wednesday. But, you go out, you're trying to get done with work so you can enjoy Derby. We end up going to Oaks. We drank. And then Derby came around. And I was a little bit, not hungover just from getting drunk, but just hungover from Derby week. When the day started, I'm usually locked in from the first race, even the non-stakes races. I probably didn't start betting serious until like the 6th or 7th race. I was betting little stupid stuff, but by my standards, a little bit smaller than what I normally do, a lot smaller. And then I started to get serious about the 6th or 7th race. But it was just a weird vibe for me, this Derby day was.
I didn't start watching until the 4th race.
Was that unusual for you?
Friday night's usually a long night. So
Right.
Saturday, I usually struggle to get up and be ready to rock and roll by the first race. I mean, that's about normal for me. 4th race, something like that.
The late Oaks maybe did it to me a little bit. I don't know. Usually I have time to come home from Oaks, relax, kind of get everything together, kind of come back to life there before I go to bed Oaks night. But this time, as soon as we got home, it was nighttime. Went to a Derby party at my brother's, which I do every year. So did that again this year. So good times.
Josh, where were you at on Derby Day?
Well, I started Oaks Day at my brother's, and I don't leave there. That site, the Onan compound, I don't leave until Sunday morning after Mom makes biscuits and gravy. So I got there Friday about 1:00, and I left at noon on Sunday.
That's wild.
Stay the night over at Mom's. Got friends that come in town, people that stay. There's random. You never know who's going to show up on Oaks Day. I mean, this year, Vernon Davis showed up.
That's
the tight end of the 49ers, the Super Bowl champion Broncos, and he retired from the Washington Commanders.
The Maryland Terrapin.
The Maryland Terrapin.
We was at Oaks. I told Charlie, if Gronk came, we might have to leave. If Gronk comes, we might have to leave.
If you texted me with a picture of Gronk, we were probably leaving the Oaks.
Yeah.
We got a buddy named Joe who's been teasing us for years that he was going to bring a celebrity, and he actually had one show up. And Vernon Davis, you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. He talked to everybody. He hung out. He plays a $2 jackpot, the first jackpot he's ever played, and he wins it. He bet 2. We had to break his 100. He bets 2 to win 12. He ended up giving the money to the kids that were playing basketball. So, like I said, man, super great guy. He's going to come on the Blitz the Boogie podcast. He talked to me. He said he'd love to do it. He loved the hospitality that we showed him. And then another funny story, his manager, that's who knows the guy Joe, is a guy named Henry Penzi. Have you ever seen the show Entourage?
Yep.
That guy Henry, the show was based off of one of his story. Like he used to manage Mark Wahlberg.
Right.
So
and he's E.
He's E.
Yeah.
That's on the show. So
Talk about Marky Mark?
Yes. So
Remember
he used to
Michael Mark was Marky Mark. This is how
Well,
we used to get the party started. We used to.
that's Eminem.
I know, but I like that song. Come on, I don't like a lot of rap songs, dude. You gotta let me have that one.
But I mean, Henry's was nice too, and he said he'd love to come onto the pod as well. So both super great people. So Oak started there, a lot of jackpots, a lot of alcohol, a lot of food, a lot of partying. So that's kind of how my weekend went. I was in the same chair handing out jackpots.
All right. Well, we need both of them on Blitz the Bookie. Josh
And Eminem. And
this is-
Eminem.
And Eminem.
and Eminem. This is the first year that I haven't made it over to the Onan Oaks party in a handful of years. I can't even remember. I usually make a late appearance, but like Anthony said, late Oaks this year, I couldn't make it this year.
I
And
feel
they
like
were
the party even ended a little bit. Well, the party probably went to about the same amount of time, but everybody was pretty fatigued by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
wish I would have been there. I always loved Vernon Davis, and Entourage is a great show, and I'm
Yep.
sure that dude's got a lot of good stories. So
Oh yeah.
make that happen, Josh.
I got a funny story I can't tell on the pot right now, but don't let me forget to tell you at the end.
Oh man, you can't tell it on the pod?
No,
Okay.
no,
All right.
no,
Trust
no.
him. Trust him.
I got
You
you.
want me to tell it real quick and then you edit it out?
Nope, because I'm
Okay.
not at nope, because it's late
All
and
right.
I'm not even trying to mess with it.
but don't let me forget. I got to tell y'all, it's good.
All right. Let's start on Thursday. Thurby. Anthony, you said you went out. I was out there
I
with
did.
my mom.
I kind of tell.
you.
I was telling Josh. I'll tell you kind of what happened there. Charlie had told me, "Hey, let's meet up." He was going with his mom, but he said, "Hey, let's meet up." Charlie has a pass, get everybody in. I end up had to do a couple things for work and just I didn't get. I'm usually like an early starter. Like I want to be there first race. I didn't get there to probably about the fourth race, and I knew Charlie was with his mom at that point. So I didn't hit him up, but I really kind of was a little mad at myself for not hitting him up, not to see my friend, but to kind of use my friend
Mhm.
to get in Thurby. Just general mission, no seat, no nothing. Thurby. We're not talking Oaks. We're not talking Derby. We're talking Thurby. I don't know why it bothered me so much because I spend way more now on other things, but $50 for no seat, no nothing at Thurby. I went over there. I made that my day at the track. I always like to try to have one of those where it's just me. I didn't plan for it to be that way, but it was just me, and that was I actually won back money that I lost when I lost a little bit the day before. I'd won back, and that actually put me up just a little bit going the week. I hit like a mid race double and an exacta there. So yeah, had a good time at Derby. Seen some people I knew. I didn't run into Charlie. Oh, and I think we were kind of in the same area. But did you have a good time with your mom, Charlie?
Oh yeah. She always has a good time with it. She comes in to watch the kids on Friday and Saturday.
That's what she said. She's starting to get used to that.
Well, then last year I took her for the first time,
That's
and
cool.
she loves it. My sister came for her 21st birthday. My brother's been, and then hopefully next year I get my stepdad Todd to come with us. But yeah, we had a good time. Security a little tighter on the owner's pass. Wouldn't let me down in the paddock on Thurby, which was
Oh,
crap.
on Thurby, that's weak.
We went there
Yeah.
on 502 day. It was pretty nice. We went down there on 502 day, and I hadn't been up underneath there where the owners go. I had them, before the paddock changed, and Charlie took us through there, and it definitely was nice. Like I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. So I really it don't do a lot for me because when I was a kid, I had some opportunities to go down there. My grandmother knew a guy saddled the horses, but the new experience, man, they really if you're an owner and you get to be a part of that, that's a pretty cool experience. Got
Oh,
a
it's cool.
restaurant right up underneath the paddock. Really nice experience.
Yeah, it's cool going down there. The old paddock was a whole lot different because it's just a little bit of grass. We went in there a couple times with Bottle Walk,
Yep.
but yeah, a whole lot. I mean, completely different experience with the new paddock with just the surrounding. I mean, it's like
It's a monster.
it's a spectacle in there,
Dude,
dude.
it's nice.
It is.
It's nice.
And like Anthony said, Josh, I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but you wouldn't even know it unless you walk through because I didn't know it. But when you're down in the paddock, you know how they have the stalls that the horses go in before they start walking?
Yeah.
In the backside of that stall, all those stalls, it's glass, but it's tinted, so you can't see it from outside.
Ah,
So if you're an owner, you got an owner's pass, you go down in the paddock, and once the horses go out on the track, you follow them out and you watch the race from the winner's circle. After the race is over, of course, if you win, you stay for the picture. But the way they funnel you out, it takes you back inside into this big buffet
VIP.
restaurant. I mean, just a huge open room buffet restaurant style. It's where the
It's
owners
nice.
are hanging out. And you can see out, there's tables right against the glass.
Huh.
Like you can literally be eating dinner, looking to your right, and there's a horse right there
In the back of their stall. You
track.
can be in the back of their little stall. They're getting saddled in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I seen the buffet thing on some TikToks and stuff that people had sent, done during Derby, these influencers and stuff. But I didn't know about that tinted glass or that, one-way mirror or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Bliss the Bookie went live. You didn't see the Bliss the Bookie live, Josh?
Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, I was live, and I
Yeah.
could probably go back and clip a little bit out of there
Mhm.
because I showed that part from the inside, looking out to the paddock. So it's a cool experience.
It was.
Of course, I was just eyeing up the buffet. I should have went over there and grabbed.
That was on 502 day.
It was right there. I don't know.
Got you some prime rib.
It was a second to last race. Nobody was paying attention.
No, we
Yeah.
could have got that.
Food.
Me and Charlie, a couple years back, I've snuck in many things over my life.
Oh yeah.
And I have a lot of cool stories on that. I'm sure like y'all have. A couple years back, me and Charlie snuck in a little VIP area up at Churchill's. It wasn't nice, but it was free drinks and man, free pretty sweet little area. We just went right in there, son. It worked right out.
That was on Derby week,
Yeah, it was.
probably Wednesday. Or
The gates open
Tuesday or
for us.
Wednesday.
It was a little side gate was just open. We was walking by. We didn't hesitate. So we seen it. We took our opportunity. Got in. I just thought any second security was going to tap us on the back because I think they got us earlier in the day. They got Charlie earlier in the day. Earlier in the day, we went in the area and I said, Charlie, what's up? Coming up to me. Oh, he's right behind me, man. He's right behind. He was too. The guy was right behind.
I tried to walk away from him, but I could feel him. I knew he was coming.
Hey, the biggest thing that I would say that I took from, the pre-Oaks, pre-Derby days, and look, it's been big, but how big Derby has got it. I mentioned that it was $50 to get in, but I'll be honest with you, that Derby crowd was just as good, if not better, than the Oaks crowd. The Thurby crowd was legit. And I guess what it is, the weather was a little nicer, and it gives people a little bit more of an affordable option, even though it's still not cheap. It gives people maybe a little bit more of an affordable option. I thought the Thurby crowd was just as good as the Oaks crowd, even though the Oaks crowd, I do feel like was a late arriving crowd.
Oh, it
Well, of
definitely
course.
was.
Yeah, with 850, there was the late arriving crowd, and then there was people who left before the Oaks.
Yeah.
Well, I have a picture of right before the Oaks or a video where I kind of turned to the right down and looked down towards the first turn, and there was a lot of empty seats right before the Oaks. So I do think I think you hit that on the head, Josh. And I don't know if people have been talking about it because I haven't watched a lot of news or anything in the last few days, but I think that might be an issue because I don't know. I have to look back maybe at some pictures from last year, but I feel like Oaks, the people are usually still there. That first turn, Anthony, did you notice that on Oaks Day
Mm-hmm.
late in the day?
Yeah,
I thought it looked
But
really
I do
well.
feel
I
like
thought
it kind of now late in the day. I didn't pay attention. But I do feel like there was a point where I don't know what race it was, Charlie, but as the evening was going on, I felt like I felt the crowd starting to arrive. Like I felt like it was. We kind of thought it might be a late arriving crowd. We talked about it, Charlie, me and you. But then I felt like it started happening. Then after that, I'll go into it in a second. But that's when my crazy evening started at the Oaks, the roller coaster ride, I call it. But after that, I wasn't paying much attention because I had about the wildest 2 hours you could have at the racetrack. So it was pretty wild.
I thought it looked great on TV.
Did it? Okay, I loved it
I
underneath
thought
the
it looked
lights.
great, but they had shown like that first turn, maybe a race or so before the Oaks, and you could tell like those people were hiding somewhere else or they had left.
Well, it was cold. It
Yeah.
was like it was a
Mhm.
little chilly. I mean,
But
it really
it
was.
was chilly.
The weather didn't help. I mean, it was a chilly evening.
Mhm.
It was. Man, we were so blessed. The tickets. I was watching tickets, and dude, I ended up getting our tickets for like $300 a piece, and they're even at the cheapest, they're like 500. But not only that, but our tickets. When you get tickets on, the second, third floor, whatever you want to call it, the clubhouse, there's only one or two seats that are in the sun. The rest of them are under, on the overhang there.
Yeah.
And we happen to have one of the front ones. So we got a pretty nice seat right in front of the starting gate out in the sun for $300. That's all inclusive. And not only that, but there was a point, late in the day where we actually went down to the finish line. Then we're like $1,500, $2,000 seats. And that's where we finished the night. And that's where we watched the Oaks race. So Charlie found us some box that somebody had abandoned.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Anthony. The box that we watched it from was what? Probably 30 yards before the finish line. And
Them are $1,500, $2,000 seats. They
and
are. I know they are.
we walked down there for the first time the race before the Oaks, and we just stood there and watched the race, and the people in the box next to us said, those people left about 2 or 3 races ago. So I said, shit. Well,
Yeah.
we were kind of excited about our seats because we were right in front of the starting gate, which is cool seeing them break. But we ended up by the finish line,
Yeah.
which was cool too. So
Upgrade.
I tell you,
Upgrade.
I really think it worked out great because where we started off and spent most of our day, we were in the sun. I don't think we realized it, Charlie, because we were in the sun. I think that was kind of a big deal. I think up underneath that shade, the sun made everything warmer, and it still wasn't warm, but it was doable when we were in the sun. When you got up underneath that shade right there, which most of the seats were, it was pretty chilly, and neither one of us were dressed with jackets. So I think really being in that sun was a blessing there. But I'll go into a little bit of my roller coaster ride. So, I'm sitting there, we're betting throughout the day. I'm mostly losers. I think I tagged me one winner, which was just kind of keep me in the game. Really wasn't losing a lot. But I was down. I got hot late. I started picking some winners. And anyhow, I hit a double, like a 20-hour double. But I think it was like 400 something bucks, $500. And I had like another little exacta. I also that was gonna keep me going with some pick three that I got started. Well, anyhow, I'm cashing all my winners, and I look down at my tickets, and I realize I'm missing a $320 voucher.
Oh,
Yep, and I try not to do that, man.
well, nobody does.
I did that years ago, but I try not to use it. So anyhow, not to get long-winded here with it, but of course you just take off. That's what you do. You just immediately take off. I knew the voucher was gone, so I just immediately went to the window. Well, where I was so like keen, like I wanted help because the same thing happened to me, but I was on the other side of it. I found a voucher probably about 4 years ago. I think it was on Thurby. There wasn't nobody around. I would have gave it back to him. But I wasn't giving it back to the track. So I just kept it. And I'm not kidding you, like 2 or 3 hours later, they found me on the other side of the track, tapped me on the shoulder. They did some camera work. They did some
Mhm.
camera, which I said, here, dude.
That's crazy.
That is crazy, but I'm telling you, that happened. Well, when this happened to me, they act like they couldn't help me I mean, dude, they were giving me they sent me, this and that. And I had to pretty much tell them how to do their job. And then they sent me down to the main security office. Well,
God
this is the
dang.
thing. At some point, like this was starting to ruin I spent like an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and it was getting in the later races, and it was starting to ruin my time. So in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I can't let this ruin my night. Like, it's $300, but it's the Oaks races coming up. And at this point, I was up because I had a double. But while this was going on, I was on my last leg of a $5 pick three. I needed the 6 or the 3. Well, coming down one of them was going to pay. They both paid good, but one of them was like 24 to 1. He was at 6 horse. He got beat at the wire in that turf race,
Mhm.
a race or two before those. I had them both. I had that 6, dude. Of course, I had the 3 that beat him too. So I still won it. And Charlie won his double weight, but that would have paid monstrous. And then I also end up having a $10 exact. Anyhow, I won $1,800 on the race. But I lost a $300 voucher. So highs and lows, highs and
Yeah.
lows. And I had
Wow.
another pick 3 going, which I ended up hitting the Oaks. But that's when I say the roller coaster ride. I was so mad at myself. And then when all that's going on, I'm watching this race, this 24-1 horse almost comes in, gives me a monster pick 3, but I still win it. And then I come back. Charlie has his new seats down by the finish line. I mean, dude,
We didn't
everything's
know where the hell Anthony went. He just
no.
disappeared. He was
I
gone.
did. Well, they were sending me places, dude. I was so mad I couldn't see straight, dude. I was so mad I couldn't see straight. Just because it had happened to me, you know, and I was like, dude, like I know what they did before. I wanted them to give me the same the same effort. So it was a roller coaster ride here. I won that money, then I lost money. I literally lost it. And then I spent the whole hour, but then I hit that, then I hit a pick 3 again in the Oaks, and I had the Oaks winner there.
What
So
the pick 3 for the I didn't even know you hit that.
yeah, remember because that was the one where you were looking at my ticket and you said that 9's the favorite now. You had made that comment before the race. You said that 9 is the favorite now.
Would that pick 3 play?
That's why I said I should have had the pick 4 because essentially they were rolling pick 3s. You see, because I hit the pick 3 before, and then I had another pick 3 that I started. They're both $5 pick 3s.
In the second race of your first.
In the second, yeah. So so I should have had the pick 4. I got hot. But I should have had the try in that turf race where the 24-1. I literally had that 6 horse in my pick 3 to finish a pick 3. Like it was going to finish it. That was going to pay like an extra $2,000. I literally got beat it by the nose, but I was happy with who I got beat by, and also who I got beat by also allowed me to have another pick 3 going at that point because I had the 6 and 3 and finishing that one pick 3, but I only had the 3 and going forward in that second pick 3, if that makes sense. So it's we had a good time and had a little Oaks winner there, and we had a blast. We had a blast, but just a roller coaster ride.
Seen Mike Repole?
Did right before the race. You know, I'm a big Mike Repole fan, and right before
Was
the race.
Was that the Oaks or the race before the Oaks?
No, maybe the race before it. Maybe
I think it was the race.
It was close.
Before.
It was getting close.
I think it was the race before the Oaks.
Yep. His horse actually broke bad. Zany broke bad. He was my third choice. I was on the 9 the whole time, but I kind of ended up getting on the 1 too. I was covered with the 9 or the 1 though, so I felt good about that. I tried to give myself a little coverage. The 1 might have rolled the best race. He did all the heavy lifting on the front end there. Baffert's horse. He ran a big race in itself, but the 9 looked really good in winning his race.
Yeah, Oaks Day, another fun day. Anthony, I thought about it, and next year, soon as we walk in, straight to the food. Straight to the food.
Yes.
To the good food spot, not upstairs. We went straight upstairs. I was thinking about, we walked in and we were about to walk past and go over to the paddock area, and we said, well, let's just go up these steps, and we went straight upstairs. We should have went straight out to the food. I agree. Hit the food, and that way we could have came back and hit it later in the day. Yeah. Their food options are good, dude. I like the food options out there. And that little outside spot is a cool spot. So, but it sucks because it's kind of far from.
Yeah, it's out there.
So you don't want to you can't go down there too many times, you know, but I feel like if we go first thing, then we can hit it twice and hit twice. Cause there's a lot of options out there.
You can recover. I felt like I went into probably like a 45-minute coma, like, cause I'm eating like I mixed all kinds, like our Super Bowl party. I mixed all kinds of foods. I'd been drinking and I just got real like, ugh. But dude, it was something weird. I came out of that like a champ, dude. I was loving it cause I thought, oh God, this sucks. Like, you know, I felt it. And I actually came out of that, which was pretty nice.
I already know. I ate American, I ate Italian, I ate Chinese, all within about 15 minutes. And Josh, I found out that Anthony on the Super Bowl party or the Super Bowl show, he got sick on the way home.
Yeah, I told y'all I got sick. That was too much for my belly, dude. Like, we was mixing everything, and I loved every second of it. If you paid attention, I was eating the hell out of it.
How many did we do last year? 12?
12 snacks.
Next year, we're shooting for 16.
God bless. That don't make y'all sick when you mix all them foods. I love it, but I
hell
mean,
no.
Y'all cast iron, son. Cast iron.
Y'all
don't eat as much as me. I've watched y'all. Y'all dabble with things. I'm over there munching on it, dude.
Josh eats and dips at the same time. He's a fucking machine. So that was a little bit about our Oaks. Josh, the Onan Oaks party, how was it this year?
It was. I'm not gonna lie, no good stories other than the peak was Vernon Davis
Well,
and
shit,
Henry.
you already gave it away. Then you should
Yeah,
have saved that for now. You just got to
I should have
tease it a
saved
little.
it. I
You know,
kind of led with the dog.
yeah,
Nothing,
you got to
nothing too
tease that a
exciting.
little bit.
No drama. We just kind of hung out, watched races, and relaxed. It really was nothing very uneventful. I usually have some pretty good stories, but everybody stayed pretty calm. We was probably about 30, 40 people short of what we usually have. I mean, there were still 60, 70 people here, but like I said, as soon as the Oaks race was over, it's 9:30. Everybody skated out, so it was left for like 6, 8 of us. So, and then a lot of people were getting up and going to Derby the next day, so they went ahead and they crashed into bed. So, especially just me, the wife, and a couple other people just kind of hanging out for a little bit. So,
I liked it. I liked the lights. I wish they would move Derby that way. You don't have to get up so early on Derby.
mhm.
I did. I don't know if it went over well. I just know that I thought it was really cool with the lights on and finishing it off. It reminded me a lot of the Blames and Yada Breeders' Cup at Churchill
Yes.
there.
Yep. Mhm.
Um, and it was just cool. And I like the Derby or Oaks being the last race of the day. I don't like there being two more races. I like that being the finale, and that is what it
We
is.
talked about it.
I like the last 2
Are
races
you
after
okay?
the dirt. I don't think you need 2, maybe just 1 for the
Okay.
Oaks. Maybe move the Oaks up to 8 o'clock instead of 8:50.
The lights, the lights.
I know it doesn't get dark. Right, I get that.
How do
But
y'all
I
think
like
it
the
went
one
over?
race after, why give you something to do while everybody's kind of clearing out the party.
Right.
We're just kind of a little something to look at. While everybody's leaving, and get you one last bet in.
I didn't even watch them. Did you, Anthony?
What's that?
The 2 after Derby.
No, I didn't.
I didn't watch them either.
You
I
know,
did.
what chaps my ass, so I've been going to the racetrack for a lot of years. I'll make this side note. Look, I'm not against nobody trying to like hustle money. I'm not against it whatsoever. Like, dude, people gotta hustle and make a living. But, with me leaving my voucher there, you're at the racetrack, you're betting, you see them. You might not say nothing or acknowledge them, but the guys that go around, like, look, if you want to pick up tickets and check them, that's fine. But dudes, some of them dudes are animals, dude. They're waiting for you to drop something, or
Mm-hmm.
they're just like, some of them are con men, dude, and some of them
Oh
aren't.
yeah.
Some of them are good dudes, just whatever, looking for drop tickets. I'm good with that. But man, I've hated them. I hated them at that moment. I can tell you that, because I feel like
They're getting worse. They're getting worse. I seen more on Oaks Day than I
Mhm.
ever have at
I
the
bet
track
you they.
in one day. There
I
was
bet you those guys get a lot of money on those days. I bet you they
I,
they
Mm-hmm.
they find
A
a
lot of
lot.
rookie betters. A lot of
I
rookie
Yeah,
betters.
probably
drunk.
noticed it. I probably noticed it 10 times, and I probably had 3 or 4 times they walked right up to my machine while I was at the machine picking up tickets they weren't mine, but I'm at the machine, and they're, you know how it's got the little panel at the bottom where
Yeah.
there's tickets. They come right up to your machine, the side of your machine, just start picking up the tickets off the machine that I'm putting my bets in on.
Mm.
It was bad.
They
It was
they'll
bad.
get kicked out for that too if they get caught. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
they must not be policing
It
it.
doesn't
But
bother me, but once you started talking about it, it did, like, it was a lot. I've never noticed it that bad at
well,
Churchill.
they probably make a lot of money, because you got a lot of people drinking. That's probably how I left mine. If I'm being honest, I wasn't all drunk, but you got a buzz. You're not thinking as clear. You're just not.
Mhm.
Got a lot going on. I also seen the crew that, and I don't have no problem with this. I'm more okay with this. But the crew that, as soon as Oaks lets out, like, there's a crew that they come walking through looking for stuff in the chairs and stuff. Like, and I'm
Mhm.
cool with that. Whatever. But they're not cleaning. They're looking for, did somebody leave a purse? Did somebody leave some money? And I bet you they find stuff, dude.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah,
they
I
do.
guarantee it.
Yeah. I know the people do it at Thunder over Louisville and different events like that. And I'm not against that. I'm not against that. As long as somebody comes back looking for their stuff, you give it to them. But they're not going to do that.
No, they ain't gonna do that.
They're in quick, though. I was paying attention. They roll in quick. There's a crew of them that roll in, and they're the same. They're the same people who do the tickets for the most part. That's their Oaks Derby Day hustle right there.
Yeah.
So, Josh, did you win anything on Thursday or Friday or what?
No, nothing. No, I
No.
honestly only bet probably. I didn't bet anything Thursday because I worked, and then Friday I probably only bet the Oaks. I mean, I'm talking, a try, an exacta, threw something on some. I mean, it wasn't even a good enough bet to where I even remember who I bet to win. So I really was just kind of throwing darts at the Oaks. Really didn't kind of look at anything.
You know,
Friday was the only day I even hit a couple races. I hit one early
yeah.
on the Oaks, maybe the second race we were there.
What was
And
that, trifecta, Charlie? I thought you got underpaid a little bit on that.
yeah, it was I don't know, 250, 280 or something. But I mean, it was the second race we were there, so it's always nice to hit
Hell
one.
yeah.
Then I hit one a couple races later, but to be honest, man, I was off. I was off. Now Saturday, I
You
didn't
hit
have
that double with me.
yeah.
We had that
And,
same double. Me and Charlie had that same double.
and Saturday, you know, I didn't hit much on Saturday, but I was just missing on Saturday. Just missing. So betting wise, I probably lost a couple dollars, but I made it up a little bit on Derby Day.
Mhm.
I'll talk about that once we get to Saturday. But anything else on Friday, guys? What
A quick note, of course, always a runner was super impressive. You know, I was Chad Brown.
Yeah.
Philly, she got pneumonia during her 2-year-old year, so she missed it. She only had 2 races leading in. She looked really good. I thought Badford's horse, Explorer, I think I had the 2 horses pegged in that race. I think he definitely can make the argument. I think he finished like 4th, but he make the argument that, you know, he did a lot of heavy lifting, and just like the Derby, it was a fast pace on a tiring track, and, you know, he hung tough to deep stretch there. Uh, but I thought the performance of the day was not by a winner, but by a close 3rd place finisher, and I thought that was Baeza. Baeza literally spotted the field 8 or 9 lengths. I mean, he literally didn't come out. We thought we might get our money back because
Mhm.
the horse didn't come out. He spotted very good horses, Skippy Longstocky, the horse that won at Corporate. There was a lot of high-level Grade 1 horses in that race. He spotted them 8 lengths, and this was his comeback race from the Breeders' Cup. So he had been off for some months here. I guess that's 6 months, and he literally spotted them 8 lengths, very high-level horses, and he only lost that race by like a length. I thought that 3rd
who
place
won that
looked
race?
that Corporate, he beat. Remember, he inquired with Skippy Longstocky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. And they didn't change it.
yeah.
That's
But
right.
Baeza actually closed within like a length of that. And when I tell you, he gave my 8 length head start. He did, and that to be
Did
able
you
to do
go
that
back and
against Grade One.
look at that the break anymore, like in slow motion,
No,
Anthony?
I
That
just
you're
know that
talking about?
I seen how much distance he gave him, but yeah, I didn't look. We thought we might get our money back because the assistant starter didn't let. It's like he didn't let the horse go. What I'd read was that Baeza's trainer kept saying, you know, jockeys talk when they're in there. That way, the gate people know. And I forget who was riding it, but he said, "No, no, 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 no," and the gate just opened. He said his
Mhm.
horse wasn't ready. His horse wasn't ready. So.
It looked, Josh, we looked at it a couple times. We were we at the track when we were looking at it, Anthony?
Yeah, remember we were, yeah. We was looking at
Yeah,
the big board.
but I'd like to, yeah, it was the big board. I'd like to go back and watch it, try to zoom in and maybe, but it looked like the guy in the gate still had his hand like across the
Yes.
front of the gate when
Yep.
it opened. And then
Mhm.
Baeza I don't know, hesitated or was being held or what was going on, but it looked like the arm was across the front of the gate. So uh wonder what the rules are on that.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
know
know
that I
it.
get that. I know if the gate opens and they don't go, of course, that's live horse. I don't know about the
Mhm.
arm on them. But I'll say this. You don't spot Grade 1 horses at that level. Them are some high-level horses. You don't spot Grade 1 horses at that level, 7 or 8 lengths in a distance that you probably prefer longer. It was like a mile and a 16th. It was the Alashiva Stakes, and Baez is more a mile and a quarter horse, where like Skippy is that mile and a 16th, mile and 8 specialist that probably prefers that. So it wasn't even his preferred distance. He hadn't run in 6 months against very high level horses, spotted them 7 or 8 lengths, and still almost won the race. Baez he's going to have a big time year. Matter of fact, if you told me one for the Breeders' Cup right now, I would take Baeza just from that performance alone. I thought that was ultra impressive what he did in that race, finishing a close 3rd.
Yeah, that was a good race. That was a
Yeah.
good race. Josh, anything else from the party on Friday?
That was it for Friday for me. Woke up early Saturday, started betting.
So Saturday you was over there with that's your parents. Your parents have the party over there on
Ye-
Saturday. You stayed over there.
Yep, did not leave.
All right. So I know last week you said it was like you're running like 26 years in a row losing. Did you make it 27?
No, I had a winner this year.
Let's go.
There we go. There we go.
I took
Oh, you were just talking about the Derby race or Derby day overall? The Derby race.
yeah, probably just the Derby race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, just the Derby race. I've probably had some winning days, overall, but I haven't hit a Derby race since 2008.
So you're the only one that benefited from my tip 5 minutes before the race.
I'd already bet it.
Did you?
Yeah, and I
You
wish
know,
I would have.
I don't know if I told you this, guys, or not. I feel like I did. He never was my top two, but I do think at one point he was my number 3 horse. Now he wasn't my number 3 horse come Derby Day, but I think at some point he was in my top 2 or 3 because I was kind of keying the Louisiana Derby down there, just because I liked emerging market at that point. But all in all, we'll get into it when we get into the race. I still don't think he was the best horse. I think he benefited from a lot of things. I mean, solid horse, but
I mean, the only reason I bet it was, Donna Barton Brothers. It was her last race, right? The
okay.
outrider that interviews.
No, I
the
didn't know
judge.
that. That's cool. Yeah.
So it was her last race. They made her a cake and all that stuff. And then as they're interviewing, all the people who are making the picks, they ask her who she's taking. And she says, I'm taking the 19 in my last year. I'm going with the girl trainer. I was like, all right. So I took the rest of my money in my FanDuel account and just put it on it to win and broke me even for the weekend.
Hell yeah. You can't beat that. How much you have on it, Josh?
It was something weird, like $11 or $12. I
There
won
you
like
go.
I won like
23 to 1, right?
Yeah, it was like I won like
Good, yeah.
214 or
There you go,
216 or
dog.
something,
There you go.
Heck yeah, on a basically on a just probably your last bet. See, for the record, my tip 5 minutes before the race was not that Golden Tempo was my top pick or anything. I'm not going to claim that. I just thought he was being overlooked. Anthony, you had mentioned, who did you mention right before the race as being overlooked?
Further ado.
Further ado, but I didn't think he was. So he was right in that 6.
I didn't hear nobody talk about it. He was getting betting action, but I felt like he was so impressive in the bluegrass. And I tell you, as I went back, once again, we'll talk about that as we get in the race. But anyhow, I just thought I felt like everybody was talking about, everybody. And I just felt like he was one that wasn't getting a play. But once again, I hate to say this because I like the dude. Brad Cox's magic seems his horses come in hot to the Derby when they come from Keeneland or Gulfstream, just like some other people. But when they get to Churchill and the testing's real good and the spotlight's on them, it ain't so good. It ain't so good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is.
You are saying that.
I am, but
you just said that.
His horses run like shit every Derby, dude. And I like the dude. I want him to win. I mean, it's
well,
listen, before we get into the Derby, I thought the race card leading up to it, like it always is, was an absolutely awesome race card. And there's a couple points that I want to make from it. Hands down, the best 3-year-old that ran, in my opinion, wasn't even in the Derby. And they say he's going to be like an even money Preakness favorite. Was the Crude Velocity or Crude, whatever his name was. He won the Pat Day Mile. That horse is a freak, boys. He's a freak. He beat Englishman. So here's a funny story I heard on that. So the Crude Velocity, I hope I'm saying that right. That's Bafford's horse. He's out of a Liam Mapps family. But the Englishmen, they were the 2 big favorites in that race. That was not the owner, but the trainer was that Sherry Duvox, the one that won the Derby. And both of those horses coming there were they had ran 2 races and they were highly regarded. They had dominated those 2 races. And a lot of times the Pat Day Miles for that late developing horse, it just didn't get enough races into them to make the Derby. So, but anyhow, they were supposedly the owners were chattering all week. And what I'd heard on, I think it was the Racing Forum podcast thing I listened to, that they were even, I don't know if they were joking or they had talked about racing for pink slips on the horse. I mean, we're talking about horses that are worth, I mean, even at this point, I would say those horses with what they're doing are at least worth a couple million, maybe more because of how good they've looked already. But they both really thought a lot of their horse, and Crude Velocity actually broke a little bad. Journeyman broke right to the lead, and they went 108 for the 6 furlongs. They were rolling, but Crude Velocity was right on his tail, and it looked like the Englishman was a hell of a horse. He went and shot for home, and Crude Velocity was able to switch leads and rain him down, guys. That is a horse right there. That is a horse. He ran down a hell of a horse. That Englishman's a hell of a horse in itself. But they say, I was reading that they think Crude Velocity will be like an even money favorite in the Preakness. He's with high regards. So keep an eye on him at that point. And I also thought that the Japanese horse, I forget what race that was, but it was a loaded race. It was like 7 furlongs, but I didn't have him. But it had a
Yeah,
lot.
that's one of the races I won. I had him.
Hey, he looked good. He looked good, and we'll get in more to it when we get in the Derby. The Japanese guys are getting it figured out. They've not
said
been
it
big
last
in horse
week.
racing for a while, but
We both
they're doing
talked
something
about it.
right. They're doing something. They're winning big races all over the world. And I'm gonna tell you what, he beat a lot of our high level American dirt horses in that race, in that division. I think it's like the 7 furlong division. And he didn't just beat them; he whooped their ass. I was very impressed with that horse. He was actually bred in America, out of Maxfield, which is a new sire. He's just starting
Oh,
to
yeah.
have babies. But I tell you what, guys, he looks like he's one that's producing, because that Englishman, I think, is out of Maxfield. And I think there was another one. Was Renegade out of Maxfield? I don't know who it was. But anyhow, Maxfield seems to be the hot new sire out there.
Well, let's get into this Derby.
Yep.
That TO horse, fuck that horse. That Japanese horse that
Yeah,
won.
me too. Charlie, I didn't have
He-
him nowhere. I
he's-
didn't have him nowhere.
He screwed me out of my, I don't know, pick 6 or pick 5 in like the first leg, or maybe it was the second leg, but I think it was the second leg. That had me hot. And I was more pissed at myself for not noticing that he was 30-1 morning line, and he went off at, well, it was like 6-1, but I actually saw, I don't know if you saw this. I told you about it, Anthony. I don't know if you saw it, Josh, but in that race, that horse, he only paid like $13 or $14.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Apparently, when the gates opened, he was 12-1.
Yep. That's that computer assisted wagering.
No, that's a big bet right there, son. That's a big That's a big Japanese bet.
There was one bet that put $300,000 on him. I think that's what I read.
You know, I'll say this, that it's I can get past the 30-1 morning line because that's just somebody's opinion. But I get where fans are frustrated, like where it drops like that. But if you're a big bettor and you know you got a live horse, if you're the people that's with him, you don't want to bet it early and let everybody else know you got it. So, I mean, bet at last second like that is the way to bet it.
That's what all the big bettors do. They're not going. They're going to wait till the last second, and I'm sure it's legit most of the time. But you know, like me and you talked to Anthony, for the random horse bettor that doesn't understand,
it don't look good.
Doesn't look good.
No, but they got a winning formula, dude. They take a certain cut. So on a big day, they have no reason to cheat. I mean, the way it's set up, they make plenty of money. Why would they?
But what they need to do is fix that. Remember, I was reading that article.
Fixed odds.
It basically said that remember it said that it takes a certain amount of time for the updated odds to show up. That's why they don't put them on the screen immediately, because it actually takes their system like 30 seconds to generate whatever the final odds are. So that's why when the gates open, you never see the odds immediately
until they get to the turn
30 seconds later.
They could cut off.
It's 2026, dude. Like they're claiming that we're flying to the moon and Mars and shit, You're gonna tell me they can't get a system that updates in 5 seconds? Come
Mhm.
on, Elon Musk.
I'm with you.
Elon Musk could probably figure it out.
You know, they could cut off betting, a minute before the post, but they would lose money that way because
Yeah,
a
you don't
lot of
wanna do
people are just
that.
last second bettors. I've seen them load
Shit, don't do
races
that.
slow on purpose so they
You
get
gonna
more
screw
money
me.
in.
You're gonna screw. I am a last minute better. You
Me
can't
too.
do
Me
that.
too. Me
No,
too.
you cannot do that.
Josh, are you a last second better?
No, I bet way too early. That's why I lose all the time.
Oh
Dude,
man, Charlie's the only one I've ever seen bad as me.
I gotta find my way into the middle ground because I told you early in the week, or I might have said it last week on the pods. Like, I have this terrible habit of, especially if I'm at the track, I don't even look at the program until like 10 minutes, until about 10 minutes. And then you know what that means. I'm at the damn machine or I'm at the window with 2 minutes left, 1 minute
Mhm.
left. And
I'm-
I hate it, but I keep doing it. I don't know. I gotta change it up.
I'll make a comment here that I'm gonna say this, and I've always been a fan of betting at the window at the track, but of course I lost my $300 voucher I talked about. If I'm not doing it no more, I'm just gonna do
Not
it
not
half.
on not on
No.
Oaks or Derby.
Not when I'm drinking, not when
No.
I'm like there's a lot going on. I'm a little bit bigger of a better than some people. Okay. I'm not gonna handle that. I have a pocket full of tickets. I'm scared to throw a ticket away because I'm scared I miss something. I want to go over it
Yeah.
when I'm sober in the mornings. And I'm trying my hardest. I mean, as much as I'm drinking, I really am focusing on my tickets because I know that that's a big deal. Like I could easily lose a ticket. And so that's how I knew I lost that voucher because I was as much as I was drinking, I was watching my stuff. But it's just so much easier to have your phone. If you win, it takes care of it. The only thing I wouldn't do, anything I thought I would have to pay taxes on, I would like to bet that in house at that point for my own personal reasons.
If you want to
But
bet a pick 5, I got a website for you to bet a pick.
yeah. But that wasn't no fun sweating that out, Charlie. I know you got paid, but I bet that wasn't no fun sweating that one out.
Yeah, but remember how we kind of thinking about that.
Yeah,
That my win wasn't in the pool, so
I know.
it
It's
would have
awesome.
took the payout down. If I would have betted at Churchill, it wouldn't have paid
would.
as much. But I betted on my
Whatever.
buddy's site. Well, I guess we
Charlie,
talked about that.
you imagine if we hit one for like 100,000 and then we're sitting there sweating our ass off? Like, is he going to pay that dude? Like, is he going to pay that? Dude, I don't want that. I feel bad for you that day. And that was for what, like 5,000 or something?
It was
I feel-
7. It was 7.
We weren't sure because, a lot of times bookies only pay out like X amount. Matter of fact, I think that's what bookies do. I think you would never bet like a pick 5 with the bookie because they only pay out like X amount.
Mhm.
Charlie's got Ditto, and I don't know if he just
Not only did
missed
he
them.
pay it, he never even mentioned it.
Yeah.
Never even mentioned it. And I called and talked to him about, the money situation because, it was quite a bit and I had to figure out how we were going to make that transaction. So I talked to him, but never once did he even ask me about how, say anything about how I won it. So
But Charlie, that wasn't no fun waiting because I remember talking to you, and I know you had to be nervous there. I would have been nervous as hell. I mean,
I was happy as hell because I couldn't believe it. It was a $12 ticket that I
yeah, and it
was a
overpaid.
$12. It was a pick 5 that I spent $12 on.
And not just that, but it overpaid. Like I thought it'd be like some, you get underpaid sometimes, like stuff don't pay as well. His paid really good for what it was. It wasn't even like a lot of long shots, and it paid like what, $5 grand, $7 grand, or something like that.
7,000. But Josh, the craziest part about it is, like, my money wasn't in the actual pool.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, if I would have hit it, it would have been one more person, and then
Yes.
and then
It would've went-
everybody's payout would have went down. I don't know.
Might
It
have went
might
down
have been-
1,000. I bet you
Yeah,
there
it
wasn't
might
that
have
many
been-
winners
it
if
might
you
have been
paid 7,000.
$1,000.
I bet you there wasn't that many winners.
Yeah, it might have been $1,000 that would have went down. So
If
that
there was 7
actually,
people. Yeah.
that was the craziest part. But I got some gold for that.
Charlie, I would have took it. However, at that point, I would have been so nervous. However, he wanted to send it to me. He wanted to send it to me in eggs. So send me $7,000, $8,000 worth of eggs. I'll
Well,
take it.
that pick 7 or that pick 5 is now worth about 10 grand. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
As a nice investment.
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get to Derby.
Yep.
Speaking of my tip 5 minutes before the race, like I was saying, my horses that I thought were being overlooked was Patente. Is that how you say it? Patente?
Patente Adam.
Yeah.
Patente, whatever it is. That one, I just thought he was being overlooked. He was like 18-1, I think.
Right.
And then the 19. And I'll be honest, I didn't look at Golden Tempo a lot throughout the week. I really didn't.
I didn't either.
It was, I looked at all of them, but I didn't spend a ton of time on that horse. But for some reason, last minute fucking
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
10 minutes before the race, I start looking at other horses that I ain't even got in my bets. I've already
Got it.
made a bunch of my bets. Now on Derby, I had my main bets in 15 minutes before the race. But you know how it is. I'm throwing a couple little things, seeing what else I can find. Next thing you know, I'm looking at horses that I haven't really looked at in the last few days. And the 19 just kind of stuck out to me as just is 24, 25-1. And those were the two horses with the higher odds. There was a lot of horses at 6-1, 8-1.
Yeah.
How many horses were under 10, like 10-1? But
Or is it bunch?
who was the
Yeah.
favorite? Who ended up the favorite at post time?
It was Renegade, wasn't it?
Was it Renegade? I don't know. They were all close. I'm with Charlie. They were all
Was
close.
it 5-1?
Whoever it is, they
I
were
think it might have
close.
been 4-1.
Because Commandment had the little yellow number for a while there at 5-1, but it did bounce around. It could have been less than 4-1. I don't
No, it wasn't.
see
It wasn't.
anybody
No.
at less than 4-1. And there was a bunch. What do you think? 6 horses, probably.
Yeah.
Six,
I mean,
probably
so
at least
happy they
6
bet
of them.
him down.
So Happy was under 10-1. Commandment, Renegade.
Further ado.
Further Ado was like 8-1.
Did Emerging Market end up going under 10 or no? He was close there.
He was close.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing maybe 1 or 2 more. So
I'm looking at the program.
18-1. And
What about the 12? Chief Wallaby, he was probably under.
Chief
8 to
Wallaby
1.
was like 8-1. So the 18-1 for Patente and the 24 or whatever it was showing for Golden Tempo was just, to me looked like horses that were being overlooked. And of course, Golden Tempo. I mean, so yeah, let's how you want to do this? Who'd you end up?
Hold on.
Who was your
real quick, before the race started, now we can talk about the race and our picks, but I want to see if y'all saw this, and I'm pretty sure you guys did, but when Great White scratched, did y'all see that outrider grab that horse when he got
seen him
back
flip
up?
over. I seen him flip on his back.
Hey, dude, y'all need to find the video. So he flips over on his back, okay? And he gets up, and dude, that horse was going to run. Dude, and out of nowhere, an outrider just, quick hands, grabs the reins, and holds that horse. Dude, it would have been a disaster.
Right. Listen
That
here.
dude was the MVP. Crazy.
This is their Super Bowl too. This is their Super Bowl. All eyes are on Churchill. As soon as he flipped, I knew he was getting scratched. Anything that looks out of the ordinary, they're scratching. PETA's on them. They're watching them. The whole world's eyes are on them. They let that horse run, and he was to get hurt. I mean, it would be a bad deal. I knew
I need
as
to
soon
find
as he
that
did
video.
it,
I'll send
he
it
was
out.
scratched.
That was my mom's pick too.
A lot of people were kind of that came to kind of like the little late pick. Everybody was kind of throwing money on. Yeah,
it was a good looking horse.
Yeah, he was. He was huge
when he was on his feet. Yeah, they say
Yeah.
he was a few hundred pounds heavier than the rest of the horses in the field. Maybe like 200 to 300 pounds heavier than all the rest of the horses.
And I would say that he didn't have a shot in hell because I believe that. But Oceana or whatever his name was,
Ocelli,
he
I
almost
didn't
won the
think
race. So I can't say that whatsoever because I didn't think he had a shot in hell either.
Ocelli should have been brought down for definitely one scenario and
he never won a race, dude.
And possibly a second. That horse was all over the place.
Dude, if they brought him down, they got to bring everybody down, dude. Everybody hitting everybody, dude.
I did
Derby's wild. Sorry.
I did my review for the 2-horse, and early in the race, which I'm sure most people didn't even notice it, but Ocelli freaking jolted over. Did you see the video I put out today? Early in the race,
Oh,
I mean, that was on the front stretch, I think.
yeah.
He's in like the 7th path and just for no reason just bolts over to the 2 path
Oh,
and just right over. He didn't hit the 2, but he came right over on him. I don't know
Charlie,
what the hell that horse was doing.
I seen where you showed that, and compared to everything else, that was amateur season, son. That was the Wild West out there. That
Well, I'm saying that was that wasn't
no,
even
I
on
get it. I
yeah,
get it.
that was early in the race.
No, it was wild, dude. What went on down there, like on the inside part, that was some wild shit went on down
Yeah.
there. Renegade was trying to hold his ground, and I think Renegade was a pretty tough horse. For those that don't know, there was a lot of action bumping that went on down low. Well, Irad's a very physical rider. Renegade looks to be a very physical horse. He comes out, they're kind of jostling down there. Well, they're kind of trying to. I feel like Renegade's getting pushed or he's pushing. Well, Irad said, hell with it. He tries to fight it, and he is fighting it good. No, like
Yeah,
he's holding his ground. I
he
feel like
had to. He was
no,
going
he
to get
was.
pushed. He was going to get pushed into the damn rail.
Yep.
And next thing you know, I felt like a 4-way push came on him, and he just couldn't hold him. Well, he gets flipped like sideways almost. I mean, his legs. He literally, I think he got rolled and hit for like 3 seconds straight, which is nuts. I mean, that's a lot, dude. I mean, he got the shit rolled out of him into that rail. If he would have just dropped back like golden ticket, he'd been go. But he was trying to get position. I get that. But
Yeah, he should have
he
just
got
dropped back.
oh, he should have. But
But
coulda,
Irad
woulda,
ain't no
shoulda. Do you
punk.
want to be that far behind? Usually that don't work. Usually that don't
Well,
work.
Commandment got lucky on breaking a little slow
Yeah.
because all that happened. Literally, I slowed it down in my first video yesterday. It happened in like 3 or 4 lengths. I mean, within 3 lengths out of the gate, Renegade had already been just busted over to the left,
Mhm.
and he kind of got clear of it a little bit. But that 8-horse
Yeah.
8-horse and Mike Smith. I know you sent that text, John. What was he? What was he doing?
Was that
The
was that
7 and the 8, the 7 and the 8 both come out straight to the left.
yes.
And the 3 and the 4 did the same thing. The 3 and the 4 come straight out left. The 3 hits the 2, or the 4 hits the 3 into the 2, into Renegade, and then Renegade kind of gets clear of that, which was pretty impressive in itself. And then Mike Smith comes down, pushes the 4 back into the 3, back into the 2, and Renegade's getting it again, dude. It was a mess. And all that happened within, I don't know, 15 lengths of the starting
Right.
gate.
Dude, I
It was
mean-
a mess. The 2-horse was squished in like
He got hit.
Renegade got it bad, but the 2-horse got it pretty bad too. And
I agree.
he
I agree.
actually got the 3-horse squeezed in and literally cut him off.
Mhm.
And he pulled up bad. Like he pulled up and had to jolt over to the right. It's surprising that nothing happened. Dude, them jockeys are impressive. And
Dude,
the
that was-
horses are impressive, dude.
Dude, it was
They
so
are.
physical. We've watched. I bet all of us. That's probably the race I've watched the most in a long time because of the physicality throughout the entire race. I mean, it's always bumping and all that, but dude, straight out the gate, it was
You
just
know, we've
the
had
eight
some-
to the
we-
rail.
We've had some like halfway clean ones by Derby standards.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'll say this. Listen, I love the Derby. I don't want it to change ever. There should never be 20 horses on a racetrack. There shouldn't. And horse racing people
just
talk
in the
about it.
just in the Derby.
Yeah, I'm with you,
it's
Charlie.
one
But yeah,
race.
not even in the Derby. But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
want it to change either.
It's one
Um,
race. It's like the field of 64 in college basketball. You just don't change it.
Yeah,
It's only
I'm
one
with you.
race.
I'm 100%
I
with you.
agree that it's too many horses, but as long it's just one race, and it allows horses like Golden Tempo or
Yes. Well, the cool,
Mind That Bird to win because there's a lot of strategy. It's not just let's go. There's a lot
of luck.
strategy
Lot
in
of
that
luck.
race.
Yeah. The coolest thing about the Derby is that for people that don't follow horse racing, the Derby, so you got all these little circuits. by circuits, I mean like, okay, the Arkansas Derby. Well, the Arkansas Derby might have 3 preps: the Rebel, the Smarty Jones, and so they have these preps for the Arkansas Derby. So that's considered like the the Arkansas circuit. Then they got the Florida circuit with the Florida Derby, Tampa Bay Derby. Then you got the Louisiana circuit. Then you got the New York circuit. You got the Santa Anita out in California circuit. And then you got some oddballs here or there. But you're bringing the best horse or two from every circuit together. So you have all these horses running in their different little pockets of the country, and even over in Japan now. And you bring them all together, and it's the first time they get to meet. So you're trying to guess, where was the power at? Where was the
Mhm.
best racing at? Yeah, they all look good when they're winning their race, but they were the best horse in that area. Now they're bringing them together against other best horses. And you know, for me, the story of the race was this: is that I end up having emerging market and Renegade. I was covered on emerging market because I had my Oaks Derby double, which was going to pay good, and I ended up throwing 20 more on emerging market. My $100 win ticket went on Renegade. I seen him at 6 to 1. I know y'all said he went down to 5 to 1. The reason I didn't like Renegade from the get go was value. I've said it. I said it on here. I just could not bet him at what I thought he was going to be was 3 to 1 or 7 to 2. And when I seen 6 to 1, I thought he was a steal at that. I liked emerging market too. Then were my top two. I like Patante and I like Dane and Bourbon a little bit. Um, when the race first ended, of course, what happened was this: they went way too fast early on a track that was super tiring. Everything was winning coming off the pace the last 2 days there. Everything. Nothing was winning on the front end. Super tiring track, and they went stupid early. The whole front end of the race fell apart besides one horse, and that was the Japanese trained Dan and Bourbon. He only finished like 4 leads back. I'd argue to say he ran the best race in my opinion, but Renegade was my bet. I thought Renegade had it won for a second. I don't think he ever seen his brother coming on his outside. And what a cool thing, brother 1-2 there. There's a million storylines in that race you can talk about, but at the end of the day, Golden Tempo didn't get hit by nobody. He went
Right.
straight. He went straight to the back, waited for the race to fall apart. I do think he's a nice little horse, but I do not think. I think there's 6 or 7 horses in that race that are better horses than him. And he's no Rich Strike. He's way better than that. But I think a horse like Feather Ado, Commandment, I think them horses are better than him. I do. I actually think maybe Dane and Bourbon's the best horse of the 3-year-old, besides maybe this Crude Velocity. And I think Renegade second. Now, Charlie made a good point. Chief Wallaby was making a good stretch run. Looked like he had some horse there, and he got cut off pretty good. So I got to give a shout out to Chief Wallaby too. But it's
And he was kind of on the pace too. He wasn't up front, but he was right in that little second group.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would call him on the pace. He was probably 6th or 7th or something most
Okay.
of the race. He was right behind the leaders. So yeah, the Chief Wallaby, he was actually he was my second pick for most of the week. I ended up having him as my third pick come race time. But yeah, he was impressive. He got in trouble right there in the stretch. He got a little sideways too, kind of like Renegade did early in the race. He got sideways right in the stretch. And there is a lot of stories, man. I mean, it's easy to say. So before we even say that, Josh, who was your top pick?
I like the 6.
You were on Commandment.
Yeah.
So that's who I was on too. So we'll talk about Commandment real quick before we get.
He was my toss. I tossed him, and I tossed. You got to toss somebody. It's not that I don't think he's a good horse. I think he's a good horse, but he was one that I tossed. I wish I would have tossed the Emerging Market, but I didn't. He had his chance. Emerging Market had his chance. He just wasn't good enough. Flat out.
Yeah, I don't know if Commandment is the best horse or was going to win that race, but I've looked at a lot of the trips, and there was some issues there. I mean, he wanted to come a little bit off the pace, but he got way too far back. I think for his liking, of course, a lot of them horses wanted to be in the back. The trifecta was 3 of the last 4 hitting the final turn. So, but I don't think Commandment wanted to be that far back. Now, him breaking slow helped him out because Mike Smith would have wiped his ass out. Or he would have been caught in all the mess. So I do think it helped him. But Anthony, you still didn't go watch it?
I did. No, I did. I did. Look, I'll be honest with you.
Ocelli knocked right into him, dude, and ruined his race.
You
He
put me
cleared out
on.
everybody.
You put
He
me on
cost
the.
12 the race.
You put me on the cheap wallaby where he got hit, and I agree. I do agree. Cheap wallaby looked like he had like a decent amount. If I had like Monday morning quarterback and actually rank them, I would play rank cheap wallaby 3, Renegade 2, Dead and Bourbon 1. Like, that's just me. But I thought Commandment had his opportunities down the stretch. I know he had little issues there, but I thought if he had enough force, but maybe he's a horse that don't like to get hit, because I will make this point about Further Ado. He was one of the other favorites. Dude, if you watch him coming like around the turn, he looked like he was going to make a good move there. Like he was in good position and he got hit pretty good. It didn't get cut off, but he got hit and like popped sideways.
Yeah,
He didn't like it.
Commandment didn't just get bumped, dude. He got turned sideways too.
Okay, I didn't see it as bad as bad. Maybe I need to watch it again. I watched it after you said that. I watched the Chief Wallaby one. I definitely seen that. I seen a little something by Commandment, but I didn't think it was much. I thought before he even got hit, he was trying to run and he just didn't have nothing in the tank as far as that goes. But I'm with you when you said he didn't want to be that far back, because I just don't think he got the position that he wanted. And look, guys, my number one favorite betting strategy is hands down, just cross out the Derby. Like when you're going to bet these horses next race, dude, there's so much factors that's luck, and horses on the front end are going to get slower paces than that in a normal race. The Derby is just not a normal race, dude. We've seen these big long shots hit before. A lot worse horses than Golden Tempo, Rich Strike, Mind That Bird, Giacomo, and they literally just sat in the back, hoping and praying that the pace falls apart. Hey, I will give the girl trainer Sherry so much credit. I like her. I like her vibe and everything. She was nothing but honest. She said, I wasn't even watching my horse. She said, I was watching the fraction. She said, I knew the only way my horse could win is if we got fast fractions early. She said, I knew my horse ain't going to close on that kind of race if we didn't get real fast fractions. She said, as soon as I seen the fast fraction and I knew the track was playing that way, she said, I knew I had a chance. But she said she wasn't even watching her horse. She was watching the fractions. I appreciate that honesty, because I think that is an honest thing. I really like that girl. She's pretty cool.
Now, Commandment was out in the middle of the track, and I don't know if Commandment wins the race, but I think he had another little run in him. And I've seen a lot of people say Ocelli should have been brought down for that.
Yep.
I mean, shit, he bumped. Not only did he hit the 6, but the 6 ended up knocking into somebody else, and they fell back too. It might have been
Further Ado. Well, it could have been Further Ado.
It might have been Further. It might have been Further Ado.
And it was Further Ado, and then Further Ado hit Chief Wallaby. It was like and then
Chief Wallaby was making a run too.
I think after that he bumped Incredibolt, the 11. He was a damn bull.
He was. Chief Wallaby.
I'm getting mad thinking about that punk.
He had some horse.
That was fucking who was that? Huh? Was that Gaffleon?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit all week. He had one race.
I'm gonna make you sick. I'm gonna make you sick. This makes me sick. First thing, we talked about this on our text. You had an Ortiz, freaking Derby, Oak Stubble. All right, paid really well. Okay, easily could have had that. They were the hottest riders at the track. And I'm a bigger fan of the younger, Jose than Irad, even though I know Irad's good. But then you had, in the Derby, you had the Ortiz brothers exacta that paid $270 for $2, the hottest 2 riders out there. And then you add on with Gaffleon, which he's probably my 3rd favorite running. Then we're probably the 3 top jockeys. To me, I'm sure that tribe paid big time.
I don't mess with Tyler no more.
Yeah, I like Tyler.
You ruined my chance. I wanted to see Commandment run. He was coming up there with the rest of them. I'm telling you.
Hey, I do feel like, so this is what happens in horse racing sometimes, though. Further Ado looked like he was making a run. And I didn't have him. He was one of the ones I tossed. But he looked like he was making a run, and he got hit. And he definitely shied away. Like, it took everything out of him when he got hit. Some horses don't mind getting hit. I don't think Renegade. I still think it takes something out of them.
Yeah, he'll knock the breath
I think
out
Renegade was like a tough. Dormant a couple years ago was a really tough horse. Some horses it makes them mean, but some horses it really throws them out of their game. when you get physical with them. And I definitely think definitely seen Feather dude like full of energy, and then he got hit. And it's almost like they got personalities, you know. So it's almost like he shied away from it.
So speaking of that, when I made my video about Rich Strike, of course I got people riled up, and that one, and I'm going off of y'all. I was on here arguing with you all the other side of it. And then I'm
Charlie,
on there,
it's true. It's true, dude.
but
Testosterone
the
my
funny,
ass. Them horses are wore out after a mile and a quarter race, dude. I
Oh.
seen the comments. I've always thought about making a video about that dude, but I just never wanted to bring the steroid thing up, you know, because horse racing struggles enough. That is 100% true, dude. I don't care what anybody says, dude. That's 100% true.
well, I called him. I called Rich Strike the Mark McGuire of horse racing. I wish I would have called him the Brady Anderson
Okay.
of
Oh,
horse
there you go.
racing.
Yeah.
50 home runs out of nowhere, one hit wonder. Brady was good.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
was good for the Orioles for a while, but that, like, his home runs were like 22, 19,
Dude,
24, 54 back the. So I wish I would have called him the Brady Anderson. And then it got me thinking, me and Anthony were talking about the workhorse, you know, that Renegade, and we were talking about Dortmund a couple of years ago. So who's Renegade? If Rich Strike is Brady Anderson, who's Renegade? Is that like
you mean Golden
Is he
Tempo?
like, huh?
You mean Golden Tempo?
No. Me and Anthony were talking about Renegade being like a workhorse, like
Oh.
kind of like, yeah, just a fighter.
Likes
You know,
contact.
if you remember Dortmund, who'd he fight back with?
Mind frame. Mind
Yeah,
frame.
mind frame.
Sierra Leone in the wood.
One
Yeah,
of
he
them
was
passed him, and then he passed him
Dude,
back up in the
he
stretch.
definitely liked the challenge. He wasn't the most talented horse ever. He was talented, but like there was more talented horses, but he loved to fight. He definitely you could see it. Like he liked to fight.
So
you
who's
think
Renegade? So who's Renegade, Anthony?
Ricky
Who's
Henderson?
Dortmund?
Ricky
Huh?
Henderson?
Ricky
Did
Henderson?
Renegade be Ricky Henderson?
To me, Renegade is probably, and I know we're trying to come up with a nickname for him, but he's probably the biggest mystery because he definitely got hit a lot, but he definitely benefited from the slow pace like all the backhand did. The Derby speed figure came up really slow. It was a really it wasn't rated that high from a numbers standpoint. Now, does that mean, but he got hit a lot too. So is he just as good as Golden Tempo, or I like to think that took a lot out of him. Like you getting hit that much matters, dude. It just matters.
He might be Bill Romanowski.
That's
there
right.
you go.
I like it.
He's Bill Romanowski.
Yeah.
I
You can hit him all you want. He don't give a shit. He's gonna punch you back.
Yeah.
And he
There
might
you go.
he might punch you even if you're on his team. There's some stories about Bill Romanowski.
Yeah.
I truly think Irad thought he had the Derby 1-0. Like,
Yeah,
I
I agree
think
too.
he's seen him. He looked over there and he was like, "Oh shit!" And then he started taking. Renegade actually responded to that because you take a horse close to a horse that some horses really want that challenge. You know, I think that's what he was doing with I guess Ocelli there when he came into him. And then he's seen his brother over there, and I know his eyes were like, "Oh shit!"
Yep,
I
had to
think
be.
he thought he had the Kentucky Derby won.
I do too.
And I think if he wouldn't have went over with Ocelli, I think he wins that race. If he keeps his horse straight and just keeps riding, I think he
what I
wins the race.
said. That's what I said when I broke that down. Was that when I really slowed it down and watched it, I felt like that move right there might have cost him. It really did. And you know, we've talked about for years the way that Irad rides, and it is what it is. Some people love
It's borderline. It's borderline.
Yeah,
It's borderline.
But look, hey, that you got to find that line and try to
That's
ride.
right.
You know
That's what he
I'm
does.
saying? And
He'll take his
that's
2-day suspension.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes him great. And you could see it. Like you could see it. That horse confronted him, and he had already dealt with the early trouble. He got out of it, got in the middle of the track, right at the top of the stretch, and then gets confronted. Was it Ocelli or
Whoever it was?
Yeah, it was Ocelli.
They
was
confronted the
inside.
wrong one.
And you
confronted
could
the
tell
wrong-
it was like Irad said, "Okay, all
He
right."
leaned over there. You can see
Yeah.
it from the top. Like he linked. Like I don't. He
And
needs to
came-
answer
and-
for
and
that.
He pushed him over 3 paths, at least 3 paths. coming down the stretch and then straightened out. And as soon as he straightened out, his brother was coming. I think that cost him, dude. I
Yeah,
really do.
I
'Cause,
agree.
I mean, he
How
was
co
still running. He ran sideways and then straightened out and
And when he
still
seen it,
just
when he
got
seen his brother,
nose.
his horse responded, like, he kicked it in, but it was too late. How
Yep.
confident is Irad in his riding ability? So that horse hit him, and so he came back to him because, we talked about it, how, like, if a horse hits you first, you're almost given a green light, but
Oh,
to be able to
hey, that was incredible.
yeah, but to be
Mhm.
able to get that aggressive towards that horse, but to know, like, I'm not gonna go this far with it to get an inquiry, because at that point where he was, to me, like, you have a good chance to win the Kentucky Derby. You get momentum. You don't got to go over to him. Okay, I don't feel like
Mhm.
you do. You got momentum. How crazy. He definitely leaned over there. Is he to go over there and think, I can ride this line here and not get enough to get inquiry? You must be really confident in your handling, because I would be scared to death. I'm not even going to mess with this guy. I got momentum. I don't care if he
Mhm.
hit me or not. I'm just going on by. But he had enough confidence in his handling that he felt like he could bump him, but not bump him too much. Like, dude, why are you even messing around with that shit, dude? You got the horse. Go. I'll never question Irad because I think he's the best in the business. I think he made a mistake there.
Yep.
I do.
I do too.
I wondered the same thing, Anthony. And my only like conclusion I could come to was he thought Incredibolt was going to run past him. Like,
He was
why
on
do
the
you?
inside. He was on the inside of him, right?
Yeah, he
And
was.
he came up to Incredible. Incredible kind of came out as he was coming up to him. It's like you had the momentum. I don't know. That's how I seen it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I just
Who,
don't
who was
see why.
riding Incredible? Maybe he don't like the jockey on Incredible.
That was
Who was that, Josh?
Jamie Torres.
Maybe he don't like Jamie Torres.
He probably don't.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I
I
mean,
like him.
he went at him, but yeah, I feel like it was a little bit too much because you can't tell me that going a little bit sideways, three paths didn't. I mean, it cost him. I don't know how many feet it cost him, but
Mhm.
it probably enough to win the Derby.
Not
Yeah.
just
But
that, but yeah, not just that, but you got if you're just focused ahead, you're looking, you could have seen him earlier. His mind, you could see it. Like if you look at his head, he was just focused, dude. I'm telling you, he had a oh shit moment at the very
Yep.
last
Oh
second.
yeah.
He
oh,
had
it was.
no clue he was there, dude. He had no
But
clue.
it was like, oh shit, oh you motherfucker. And then once he's like pissed, oh shit. Then he was like, oh, it's you, motherfucker. It's my God, man.
If Irad had had all the success that he had, because Irad's considered the best jockey in America. His brother's very good, maybe number 2 or 3, but Irad's considered the best. I think that makes it a little easier. I love what Mike Repole said afterwards. I don't know if y'all seen it. That's who owned Renegade. He come up and gave Irad a big hug, and he said, "Hey, man." He said, that's the way it goes. The more I listen to Repole, there's things about him I don't like, but the more I love him, I think he's good for horse racing. He said,
Yeah.
"Hey, if you're gonna fucking lose your fucking brother." He told the newscaster, "You're gonna hear some cussing this week, but I love the game and I'm all about the game." He said, "We'll go get your brother later and beat him up." He says, "It's all family, man." And I mean, maybe Mikey was drinking too, but he was saying all the right stuff to
I
Irad.
guarantee it.
Irad was upset. He was almost probably because he knew he messed up a little bit, But I give Repole a lot of credit for saying that. Just say, hey, if you're going to lose somebody, you lose to your brother. And it was Repole was saying the right stuff. Repole is good for horse racing, dude. He's good for a horse rider.
He seems like a good dude, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's things about him I don't like, but there's a whole lot more things I like about him that I don't like, So,
I've been seeing him on TikTok lately, I
Yeah,
guess.
me too.
Just
well,
since this past week, I guess.
he
Now that
owns the Kings.
huh?
He owns
Oh
Louisville
yeah,
Kings.
he does. Yeah.
He owns a bunch of them. And he's big about like horse racing. If we're going to survive, he's trying to tell all these like traditional people like Jerry Bailey and different things like if we're going to survive with horse racing, we got to bring new things to horse racing. We got to compete, quit being scared and go into the breeding shed to challenge each other. And he did that with fierceness. He kept fierceness around running. Um, which nobody does that no more. When you're good, they take you, especially when you got really good breeding like that, they take you to the breeding shed. So, you know, he's got a good one in Renegade. He's got a good one in Renegade and Zany. Zany's definitely a good one. Zany
Mhm.
had a bad break in the Oaks. So he's got him some good horses right now. But
So
to, go ahead.
What about the embrace, like 3 strides past the freaking finish line going 40 something miles an hour, dude? Yeah, I mean, I know that, like, it just looks easy, but that can't be like, that's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
For
shit,
real.
he just bullied that horse over and knew he wasn't gonna get taken down. Them guys are horse riders, son.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy for them. It's easy for them. It's like riding a bike or a motorcycle or something. Once you do it, you know, you can ride with no hands and all that shit. But dude, that was pretty impressive. And it was like right after the finish line.
Right. It was
wasn't it?
immediate.
He
It
could have jumped
was.
on there. Them guys are so good. He could have jumped on that other horse. Dude, what you talking about?
That would have been crazy.
I know he was happy for his brother, man, but for a second, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm sure he was happy.
I bet you it was well, I mean, I guess it depends on their relationship, but you know, I would think it was a very split second of being mad and then immediately like, damn, you motherfucker, dude. Like he had to be happy for him, you know. I know
Yeah,
he
because
wasn't doing
Jose's
it.
always not been in the shadow because Jose's plenty successful himself.
Who's
Very high
older?
level rider. I don't know. I know Ira is considered the best in the U.S. So
Yeah, I don't know who's older either.
Nobody knows any of their ages, anyways.
that's right. That's right. We know that from tribal baseball. Danny Almonte, remember that name? That's
Yeah.
it's look. One thing I would like to say, and I've touched on it with Charlie. Look, and this hurts my heart. It hurts my heart because you know me. I love horse racing. I'm USA all the way, but I really think it's obvious to see right now that the Japanese are doing something different than everybody else is doing, and they're doing it at a high level. And I think that we give them another 5, 10 years, they're going to be the kings of horse racing because they've not been in horse racing that long, like far as really taking it serious. And we had a horse in the '80s that was a superstar of Sunday Silence, but he wasn't blue blood enough for breeding for the breeders in America. And so they sold him to Japan, and now every horse in Japan is related to Sunday Silence. And that's Secretariat.
USA.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
USA.
I'm with you. But
USA.
I tell you, Forever Young, a Derby or two ago was the best horse. He ended up winning the Breeders' Cup. Awesome horse. The TKO horse that won that race earlier in the day, Freak. And Dane and Bourbon, if I'm being honest, ran the best race. He ran the best race. And the other horse, the Wonder Dean, he didn't run bad. He finished like 7th or 8th, and he was up on the pace too.
I don't see any of them on here
because they ain't been doing it that long.
I'm still looking.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
looking.
Hey, they're winning Dubai World Cups. They're winning the other Saudi Cup. They're winning in Europe at Ascot. They're winning the biggest races all over the world. And they're playing catch up because really horse racing at a high level is new to them. And you hear it like on these TV programs with the works and stuff. Oh, their training methods are different. You know, they're just jogging today. Well, they better figure out what they're doing or what drug they're using because whatever they're doing seems to be working. That's for sure.
No, I'm running out of gas. I'm running out of gas, boys.
I know we're about to wrap it up. Mike Repole, if you are listening, just know that I made a bet with Anthony. I think it was on Friday, that you would win a Derby before the Japanese would.
I hope he does.
Just know who's on your side, Mike.
He's
just
on the clock.
Anthony talks like he's a fan, but
I am a fan.
I got my money down on Repole winning before the Japanese.
Well,
Josh,
I mean, Japanese, you get a bunch of them.
Whose side you on that? Mike Repole or the Japanese? Who wins the Derby first?
Hey, real quick, I know we got to go. What's crazy is that
Hold
horse
on,
that
get Josh's answer. I want to know what he knows.
I think Repole does.
Yeah,
I think he's got enough time. He's got enough time.
You know what's crazy about the Japanese, like that TKO? And did you tell me that they both were American breds? So I mean,
TKO was, yeah.
But like, so it's not like they're breeding them over there. Like they just went and got them from Marcel and they're training them. They're doing something different over there. Maybe they got the new drug out. I don't know. Like, you know, maybe they got the Cobra. They used to put the Cobra venom in their foot or something, you know?
It's like concentration camp for horses is what it is. It's probably how they train their army. I know we was talking about that, boy. Train their baseball players at a young age. They could probably train for like 14 hours a day, 20 hours a day.
There's always the newest steroid out, like that they don't test for it and like track and field and stuff. Maybe they got the juice right now that, nobody knows about. Seriously. I mean, all jokes aside, maybe they got the juice that nobody knows about right now. Their horses are running at a very high level all over the globe.
All right, guys, we're going to cut this a little short tonight because it's late and we're all tired. Congrats to Golden Tempo. We didn't even give Golden Tempo much love. We didn't talk about Golden Tempo very
He ain't
much.
gonna run in the Preakness, so what's it matter?
I know
Right.
that came out today, right? He's not.
Yeah.
I don't
running
blame her.
Preakness. I didn't get
I hate it.
I saw you sent that thing. I didn't read it. Did they give a reason, or they just said he wasn't running?
It just wasn't ready. They want to give it time.
I think she would have ran I think she's a realist, dude. Just listening to her, I like that about her. I think she knows her horse is going to need like a good situation. He needs his 5 weeks. Maybe the Belmont's a little longer. Give him the best chance at, keep having success. I think he's a good horse, but I think if I was Monday morning quarterbacking, I'd put him maybe 6th or somewhere in that area. And maybe that's low, but that's just how I feel. But I do think she's a realist, so I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, cool that she won.
She's a cool person.
So next weekend's Preakness?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is Churchill on the Preakness already, or is it like take over at a certain point?
I think it's like July 1st or something. I could be wrong on that date, but I thought it was something like that. I think it's after the Triple Crown races.
So next week we'll look at the Preakness, even though we will not have a chance at a Triple Crown winner. That's disappointing, dude. You almost should force them, but I know you can't do that. But damn, dude, it sucks.
Like an incentive. Like if Churchill owns it, if I was Churchill, say, hey, if the Derby winner wins, we'll give you a $500,000 incentive just to run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Money talks, right?
Yeah.
I actually like that idea. I just came up with it. I kind of like that idea. With Churchill owning it now, $500,000's a lot. Like that's a nice little chunk of change,
Late night ideas and on
There you
Blitz the
go.
Bookie right there. All right, guys, appreciate everybody listening. We will touch on the NFL draft maybe next week, maybe the week after, who knows. But guys, appreciate everybody. Keep checking us out. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Listen on all the audio platforms and tell a friend about us. Guys, y'all got anything else?
That'd be it.
Good.
Catch y'all next week. Blitz the Bookie.
See y'all.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Scassy's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. Bond you'll find. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Yeah.